Now we'll take a brief word of exhortation. It's all in the mood to thank God for the 60th years of the Institute. So permit me invite Reverend Michael Esiedountri to give us a brief word of exhortation. He was a past council member as well, and a member of most of the Institute's committee who has contributed a lot to the Institute. Kindly appreciate him as a minister. Reverend Michael Esiedountri.
For religions that believe in God's creation, the concept of work is something that dates back to creation. And for those of us who are in Christian religion, we know God gave some work to Adam to accomplish. And so for historic Christianity, the concept of work is something that is viewed as a calling or a vocation, in which mortal men like us, we do something that God Himself indeed began to do. And in that, we extend some good to all men. And when we do that, we don't do it just for our own sake, for our own advancement, but to help humankind. There is a book that I read by Timothy Keller and Asdorf. The title is Every Good Endeavor, Connecting Your Work to God's Plan for the World. However, in this era of materialism where everyone is looking for his or her own comfort, it seems to be that this concept of work that was so dear to our forefathers, looking at it as a calling or a vocation, is something that has been buried in antiquity. For us as professionals, I'm very sure that we are very much aware of one of the very cardinal responsibilities we have in our role as those who, take care of the resources of others and also help with proper accountability to all stakeholders. And indeed, may I ask that these stakeholders place such great trust in us, trust that we should not, under any circumstance, treat lightly. And so this evening, in my reflections for us, I would like us to look at a passage from Psalms, the 12th Psalm, reading the first 2 verses. I read from the New International Version, and this is how this portion of scripture is rendered. The writer says, "Help, Lord, for no one is faithful anymore. Those who are loyal have vanished from the human race. Everyone lies to their neighbor. They flatter with their lips, but harbor deception in their hearts." And when I reflect on this passage and the words that are written here, I begin to wonder, what was the state or the condition in which this person who wrote this psalm was? And why would he cry with such an agonizing pain, if I should say, and call for help from the Lord? The passage says clearly that because men who are faithful had disappeared. Some translations say disappearing from the face of the earth. And people who are loyal have become extinct. And so this is a very depressing state to find yourself in when you realize that there are no more faithful men and women and people who can adhere to standards and rules. People who can stick their necks out and say, "This is the truth and I stand by this truth and that is it and nothing more or less." The question I ask myself is, perchance, are we in a state where we can also be crying for help from God because there are no faithful men on earth? a chartered accountant in academia? Could it be that the students that you are training to become future professionals are crying out for help because they are no more faithful teachers? For those of us in business, our stakeholders crying and calling out for help because we can't find any faithful accountant. Could it be the case that those of us in practice, our clients, are screaming in a very agonizing way for help because they can't find advisors that are faithful? And could it be that the citizens are crying to God for help because politicians, we don't have any more those who are faithful? This is the reflection I wanted to have this evening as we celebrate 60 years of ICAG. Indeed, our stakeholders have placed some level of trust in us. And I dare say this is a sacred trust. We cannot afford to disappoint the people who have trusted us so much and given us such kind of responsibility. If they are going to be looking for help, it should not be because they are no more faithful men and women. The verse 2 says, everyone lies to their neighbor. They flatter with their lips, but harbor deception in their hearts. Could that be a story that can be told of any one of us here? I suppose? No. And I like the prayer of those who prayed and right through this ceremony, they have made it clear that the Institute over the 60 years have trained people who are, who uphold credibility, values, and indeed our own, coat of arms that were the integrity, similar to faithfulness as is depicted here in this passage of scripture. So do we only just have it in the emblem? Or indeed we live as people who are faithful and people who uphold the truth? I want to challenge you, my colleague accountants. And somebody said, it's not easy. However, I'm sure God can help us so that we are able to hold our own, we are able to stand chest out as people who want to contribute some good to humanity. And that the work that we have, the profession that we have, we will not see it as something for our own personal benefit, but remember, it's an extension of God's hand to extend grace to humanity and help humankind to be what God wants humanity to be. This evening, chartered accountants and other professional people here, let me submit to you that whatever you do, you should see it as a divine call. You have been put at where you are to extend some goodness to people. They must find you faithful, loyal, not telling lies to one another and deceiving one another. I'm sure if we look around, we can find situations where the name of the profession has been called to question because some people who say they are accountants have done certain things that you ask yourself whether indeed these people are accountants. But they say they are. Are they extending that level of goodness to humankind? Or telling lies to their neighbors? I want to say, when the going gets tough, we can cry for help from God to help us, so that we are able to stand our ground and do the right thing. and not succumb to the pressure to do the wrong thing. Indeed, the human inclination will compel you and always to do the wrong thing if nobody is looking. But remember, God looks and sees us everywhere that we are. This evening we would ask for His help, for His grace, that we will be able to indeed be a help to humankind by the work we do. So that if anybody is looking for faithful men and women, loyal men and women, people who practice integrity and don't lie to themselves, they will find them amongst us. Amen.
The director indicates how far you have come, how you have struggled, and where you have arrived. Can you give it to a baby drama?
It is time to listen to our chairman for this evening. And our chairman is a London trained professional. He had his university education at Lancaster University, had his professional accountancy training with the Institute of Chartered Accountants England and Wales. He did a number of articleship in London. He is an expert in the oil industry. He did a lot of work for PwC, that's it, and then KPMG, and then he moved on to TOR, where he became the Deputy Managing Director before he retired. And he is currently the Executive Chairman of Lily Gold Oil Company Limited. Our Chairman is a royal. He was born in the Dementia Palace. And his late father is Otunfo Osei Prempe II. Ladies and gentlemen, our chairman for this evening, Oheneba Akwesi Abelu. Thank you.
It will be remiss of me not to immediately recognize our member, who is also a traditional need Honorable Minister of National. One time, before he qualified as a chapter, the president of the institute, my dad is not that great, so if I don't pronounce Nime Nama. Council members of the institute, past presidents of the institute, I can see some of there. Some arrived in 1978, virtually revolutionary, the Council of the Institute. Were then young accountants. We have passed through the professional office. Some dedicated the final lecture outside of UAUTC, now the Central Office of Accra, and I was the final lecture of 4. Let's go to that. We then also live at least near one of the bureau. Funny, I will see you for more than 3 years, and it's nice to see that we are alive. Fellow members, students, invited guests, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me thank the council and the chief executive for the kind invitation which they extended to me, not more than a week ago, to be the chairman for this auspicious occasion. And I can only thank you for this great honor. I flew in from Russia this afternoon and will go back tomorrow. It is indeed then a great honor to share this auspicious event, the inauguration of our prestigious institute's 60th anniversary, under a very thought-provoking theme, promoting sustainability, deepening trust, nurturing partnerships. This colorful event takes cognizance of the journey that began 60 years ago when the accounting profession officially gained roots in the Denver Jews. Our first Prime Minister, he was first Prime Minister before he became President, Osage was very much instrumental in laying the foundation for the establishment of the accounting profession in Ghana. All the young professional accountants far and wide owe him a debt of gratitude for taking this bold initiative at a time when the profession was mainly promoted by Europeans in this country. In those early days, it was mainly the foreign qualifications which were readily available, that is, Institute of Chartered Accountants in England and Wales, ICAEW, Association of Certified Chartered Accountants, ACCA, and the Institute of Cost and Management Accountants, now Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CA. Osaka was a desire for a locally branded accounting profession led him to charge then Dr. Silvan Amadashi, who was then the director of the School of Administration, originally located at Kumasi University College, now Banana University of Sanskrit, as College of Accountants, to initiate the modalities to establish a local professional qualifying program in Ghana. Of course, Amadashi acted with dispatch. Hence, the resultant Act of Parliament then, the Chartered Accountants Act 1983 at 170, which was earlier agreed to by the Chief Executive. The Institute was such then birth, then the credence in the establishment of what we now have as the Institute of Chartered Accountants. Furthermore, Dr. Amadashi collaborated with the Institute of Chartered Accountants in England and Wales to provide the professional support to mount the Chartered Accountants CA program. Really, the Institute of Chartered Accountants in England and Wales supported the examinations for a decade, from 1958 until the victory and the battle to the then administration at the Institute. The rest is on the history. Today, therefore, is a very important day in the calendar of the history of Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana. We can all say with pride that in the past 60 years, the Institute has made the trade and become professional both locally and internationally. We are going to be that decide all of us to give ourselves a deserving round of applause. I dare say that 50 years in any organization is no good achievement. Even in our working lives, to achieve 60 years of meritorious service takes grace. How much more the institute that has been assailed on all fronts with the vicissitudes of life. We owe this legacy to the strong administration that has managed the affairs of the institute through the 6 decades long journey. So I say congratulations to all the executives, the secretaries, the registrars, the chief executive officers who have managed the affairs of the institute and the successive management and staff. They have all been instrumental in this milestone achievement. So, it is my dear expectation that this celebration will lead to us waiting with bated breath for the unfolding of all the events and activities earmarked to commemorate the 60th anniversary. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Nana. Kindly appreciate it. It's giving us a great history about thanking you as well. Thank you. We have a few people that we need to acknowledge. So I was thankful of the CEO of the Institute to do as the honest. Step Percy Hachiman, CFA. CFCA.
Yeah, it's the FCA, and we had the opportunity to refer to most of us who have been members of the Institute for over 10 years and meeting all the requirements to be called or qualified to be an FCA. And this is deeply enshrined in Act 1058. Unfortunately, we don't have the minister who helped us to get to that level. So if you are 10 years and beyond and you meet all the requirements of the law, please come to the Secretariat, file the necessary documentation, and you will duly be referred to as FCA. Those of us who are not there yet, and with the Act in force now, please, when you mention your name, add CA to it. If you are not an FCA, just add CA to it. I am FCA. And when I did the early introduction, as you know, I don't have the privilege of Nana, who can read without his spectacle. I have to wear spectacle to be saying what I'm saying. And I missed a very great giant who is here with us because my eye couldn't stretch to that level. And though introduced already, let me acknowledge the presence of the past CEO, past president of ICAG, Mr. Kwesi Asante. The past 2 months have been very, very hectic in the country, especially those of us who are in regulatory environment. We were to have had the governor of Bank of Ghana with us, and he had made every plan to go with us. But you know the heat that is hitting everybody within this terrain. He couldn't make it. And as such, we have a member, somebody who works closely with him. And that person is, I think, is even hotter than the governor himself. That's the head of the Banking Supervision Division, Mr. Osei Jesse, is here with us this afternoon. In the morning dawn, Mr. Osei Jesse is calling for us to meet and then go through the necessary steps that can be used to help establish the debt restructuring program. And we've been doing this not all by ourselves, but we have the strength to do that with the support of most of the firms that are registered or working under the Institute. And we have one of the toughest and greatest firms with us, and the managing partner of the firm himself with us here. And that is our own Dan Urusu. Mentioning his name, FCA. And I'm seeing now, I think I can see some of the partners from Deloitte coming with Dan Jones here. I'm seeing George, I'm seeing Charlotte, I'm seeing Abna. Our neighbor, Chartered Institute of Bankers. Their CEO is also here with us, Mr. Robert Jato is here with us. The provost of Heritage University, Ghana, the provost, should have been with us. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it, and we have Ebenezani Ama, the PRO of Heritage University, who is here to represent the provost, and the provost is our own Professor William Abayawen Achebe. Respectfully, Prof has an engagement, as you all know. He would have been here to support us as we launch the 60th anniversary programs. He's not here with us, and he duly sends his compliments to all of us. Mr. Hansen, you can take it from here. Thank you.
is time to take our keynote address. But before we do that, the council should be listed. We give us one cultural dance to usher in our minister who will give us the keynote address. So, ladies and gentlemen, from the University of Ghana,
We're supposed to hear from the governor of the Bank of Ghana before we take the keynote address. And as the CEO indicated, the economy is hard. so he couldn't make it himself. But there is a representative from the bank to interact with us on behalf of the governor. So kindly permit me welcome Mr. Osei to deliver the address for the governor of the Bank of Ghana. A loud everyone. Thank you.
Nana Kwesi Abeyi, Honorable Minister of National Security, Honorable Papa and my lecturer, council members of ICAG, the president of the institute, the chief executive officer of the institute, our special delegates from Nigeria, members of ICAG, Reverend Fathers, Lee-men, Namen, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Good evening. I bring you warm greetings from the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Addison, and his two deputies. Dr. Addison and the deputies would have loved to be here, but for some other equally important engagement. It is a pleasure to join the 60th anniversary launch of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, Ghana. Let me take this opportunity to congratulate the Institute on the achievement of this milestone. If the Institute were to be a person, this anniversary would have marked the end of an illustrious career. But 60 years in the life of an institution like the ICAG rather calls for the promotion of sustainability, deepening trust, and nurturing of partnerships, as aptly captured by the theme for the anniversary. Indeed, ICAG has been resilient to the training of accountants and reducing the practice of accountancy as auditing firms, with a total membership in excess of 10,000 individuals and firms. Over the years, the Institute has produced highly qualified accountants and auditors who are serving in various roles in the economy, including the provision of technical support for the government's annual budget and tax policies, as well as the publication of other technical papers which have been very instructive in policy making. The Chairman, this new year provides us with an opportunity to reset the economy, as well as the institutions that operate within. Collectively, we manage the challenging economic landscape in 2022, characterized by the lingering effects of the pandemic, tightening of global financing conditions, and spillovers from the Russia-Ukraine war. These severe shocks transited into a global growth downturn and rising inflationary pressures, which prompted aggressive monetary policy tightening to contain the elevated inflation levels. These global developments, coupled with inherent domestic vulnerabilities, including increasing public debt levels, culminated into Ghana's credit ratings, which spiraled into an economic crisis. The tight global financing conditions and loss of market access in particular set of intense volatility on the foreign exchange market. Headline inflation rose to historical highs. The Ghana cedi depreciated sharply against the major trading currencies, amid significant loss of international reserves and widened financing gaps. Faced with these economic headwinds, the government resorted to the IMF for financial support to unwind the imbalances and achieve debt sustainability. Significant progress has been made on this front in the last quarter, with the staff-level agreement in December 2022. Additionally, the 2023 budget statement has committed to reset fiscal policy towards fiscal consolidation. In this regard, new revenue measures and expenditure rationalization have been announced by government. Mr. Chairman, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the key anchor of the expected 3-year IMF extended credit facility will, among others, help restore debt sustainability over the medium term by moving the country's current high risk of debt distress to a moderate risk by 2028. The key reform priorities to help achieve this include: 1. Large and front-loaded fiscal investment underpinned by fiscal structural reforms. 2. Pursuit of tight monetary policies to move inflation back to the medium-term target band of 8 ±2%. 3. Implementation of policies to ensure exchange rate flexibility to allow for the rebuilding external buffers and additional reforms to build resilience for stronger and more equitable growth. On top of these, Mr. Chairman, structural reforms under the program have been designed to entrench fiscal discipline and bolster transparency. These will be driven by tighter public financial management, enhanced revenue administration and tax policies, and reforms of state-owned enterprises to ensure efficient management and monitoring processes to safeguard the public finances. With inflation currently at 54.1%, tight monetary policies are expected to contain the persistent price shocks in the economy and ease inflationary pressures. Monetary financing of the government deficits, which was pursued to prevent domestic defaults arising from systemic auction failures during 2022, will end under the program. To achieve this, the Bank of Ghana and the Ministry of Finance will commit to zero financing of the budget in 2023 and beyond. The implementation of these prudent macroeconomic policies is expected to trigger a disinflation path and downward trend in the policy rate, as well as restore the country's reserve buffers to at least 3 months of import cover by end 2025. When inflation decelerates to single digits, we expect real interest rates to be between 3 to 4% and nominal interest rates to range between 11 to 12% over the entire course of the program. Mr. Chairman, all these projections hinge strongly on the successful attainment of an IMF program. The staff-level agreement was just the first step in the process. The most critical step that will draw the country closer to approval of the proposed ECF program by the IMF board is to undertake a debt restructuring program. Consequently, the government announced a domestic debt exchange program
DDEP, which seeks to guarantee Ghana's debt sustainability over the medium term. The core objective of the DDEP is to harness the fiscal consolidation agenda, and its successful implementation is expected to improve the debt metrics, complement the current monetary policy stance, and reset the economy to macroeconomic stability. In anticipation of some adverse effects of the program on the financial sector, the Bank of Ghana has issued some regulatory interventions to complement the announced Financial Stability Fund to mitigate the potential impact on regulated financial institutions. Let me use this opportunity, Mr. Chairman, to reassure the Institute that the Bank of Ghana will engage all stakeholders and make policy interventions where necessary to ensure the impact of the banking industry is minimal. Mr. Chairman, in line with your theme, specifically nurturing partnership, I wish to commend the Institute for the key role it played in the process leading to the implementation of the DDE program. Your commitment and critical input to the entire process has helped to navigate the uncharted path and contributed to the implementation of the DDEP. Such collaborative efforts are critical for national development, and I am hopeful that in the near future, the Bank of Ghana will formally engage the Institute to help institutionalize and nurture our partnership to influence policy direction. As gatekeepers of the accountancy profession in the country, users of the financial statement of regulated financial institutions expect the Institute to ensure that audited financial statements are free from material misstatements. This will help deepen investor confidence in the banking industry. The success of the DDEP is critical for the economy and also for the health of the banking sector. In this perspective, we understand that losses have to be recorded with accuracy in order for the banking sector to recover on a strong footing and for the integrity of bank reporting to be preserved. Mr. Chairman, the accountancy profession has changed significantly from the days when accountants were referred to as bean counters, more of a strategic partnership. Accountants are now viewed as strategic advisors, helping to develop and apply data sets and analytical tools to provide real-time insight on how to create and sustain long-term value. No longer record keepers or assurers of historical data, the accountant is now a business partner and assurer of information. The accounting industry is also fast evolving with the continued usage and dependency on technology. For instance, automation, mini-bots, machine learning, and adaptive intelligence are increasingly becoming part of the profession. With the deployment of basic automated accounting processes by several institutions, these technological changes, including instant access to resources such as cloud, data, and computing capabilities, call for continual upgrade of skills and competencies. Mr. Chairman, these changes in the accountancy profession must be fully captured in the Institute's curricula and programs to ensure that accountants are fit for purpose in the new working environment. Mr. Chairman, on top of equipping accountants, the Institute will need to position itself at the forefront of current major developments in the country. Hence, there is the need to identify the unique value proposition that the accountancy profession can offer to policy making and national development in the years ahead. In conclusion, Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, The accountancy profession is changing, and the 60th anniversary offers a unique opportunity to reset and adapt to the changing times, to churn out accountants that fit international standards. On this note, let me once again congratulate you and the Institute on its 60th anniversary. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Said, for representing the Governor of the Bank of Ghana.